Back inside our San Francisco studios, and what a week one performance from the Stanford Cardinal. Their quarterback, JJ Costello, and their wide receiver, JJ Arcega-Whiteside. They connected 6 times for 226 yards and 3 touchdowns in a win. JJ, your offensive player of the week, and KJ, actually the first Stanford quarterback to throw for 300 in a game since 2015. I had to double check, triple check to make sure that stat was actually accurate, and the duo joins us here on Pac-12 Network. Guys, congrats on the week 1 win. All right, you tell me, a post-game celebration in week number 1. JJ, what does it entail?
Going to sleep, getting some rest, going back, hanging out with the family, just enjoying the time and getting back to work the next day.
All right, KJ, so JJ gave me the answer that David Shaw wanted to hear. Give me the real deal. What actually transpires after the game?
Well, I mean, he's not too far off. And I was lucky to have quite a bit of family in town. My sister went to San Diego State. My dad did as well. So we had a lot of family in town. I mean, we grabbed a quick bite to dinner at the Old Pro, and then after that, we were just hanging out and trying to get some rest.
All right, KJ, I'm at home. I'm watching the game, and I got to tell you, you got a weapon next to you in JJ that not many people in the league can boast. Not many quarterbacks have. Yes, put your arm around him, and there's a lot of love there for obvious reasons. Is there another guy? You guys are watching film. You've seen a lot of the other players, but KJ, is there another guy in the league that's got the skill set that JJ brings to the table?
I mean, I think it's pretty specific, pretty unique, of course. I mean, he does clearly come from a basketball background. I haven't really been around a wide receiver with as strong hands like him. I mean, there's certain throws that I had to learn to make once I got here, once I saw what his forte was. We describe it as him taking the ball off the rim. That's something that normally tight ends do, not necessarily a wideout that you split out at Z or X on corners. But that's something that I had to adapt and learn because I knew it was something that he did extremely well.
JJ, this is, yeah. Oh, you're just going to agree with him, JJ?
I'm just saying he's out here putting out the good word for me.
Which is good, and that's what he's supposed to be doing. But you explain to me, because KJ's coming off of an injury, for you as a wide receiver, how do you make sure, because we always hear about the chemistry between a quarterback and a wideout and how that develops over time. What were some of the things that you guys were doing this offseason to make sure that you were going to be able to execute like you did in week 1?
Well, I mean, he was in my ear the whole time, whether if it was player-led practices, meeting outside of required hours, in the training room. I always ran into him in the training room, and he's sitting there like, hey, I was watching film. If you get a guy right here, make sure I'm going to put the ball right here, make sure you're aware of it. And I'm like, dude, it's not even football season yet. But that's just the kind of guy he is. He's always on top of everything. He wants everybody to be on the same page. And, all that stuff he said, it makes it easier because he like I said, he makes sure everybody's on the same page. He puts the ball where he wants to put it, and he makes sure everybody knows that the ball's going there.
KJ, I think for you it's just kind of throw it up and make sure JJ, knowing that he's going to be able to bring it down. After the game, David Shaw had said it was probably the most blitzes he has seen in 12 years at Stanford. Explain to me what it was like for you. And obviously there was a concerted effort by that San Diego State defense to keep Bryce Love in check. But as you approach the line every single play, take me through what you were seeing from their defense.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I hit a little realization moment there in the first quarter. We were in big people personnel, and, we had the play called, and I knew what we were running. And, I saw everyone from the linebackers to, the safeties, crawling downhill around 10, 9, 8 yards by the time the ball was snapped. 11 guys just ready to come downhill to stop the best running back in the country. So at that point in the first quarter, it really hit me that, Rocky Long and their defensive staff was willing to hang their hat on stopping the run. And that's when it became clear to me and the staff that we had to take what the defense was giving us, and that was one-on-one on the perimeter.
JJ, knowing that that is the case, do you sit there just smiling ear to ear going, you know what, this is going to be a big game for me?
It took a whole quarter for me to say anything. I was just trying to let things play out. I didn't want to be too aggressive right off the back and just say, hey, let's just throw the ball outside. But as soon as I started seeing, like, we're out here in trips 3 by 1, we got wide receivers spread out, and they're still bringing the blitzes. That's when I had to tell Coach, all right, we're getting one-on-one coverage. We got to beat them that way, and we're gonna have a chance to win. And Coach Shaw is always open to listening to his players, and next plays, double go, and that's it.
KJ, do you think that this is a performance like you guys had, specifically you two, kind of puts the rest of the teams that are on your guys' schedule on notice that if you are going to go and try to stop and put all that effort into keeping a guy like Bryce Love in check, that JJ and you in particular, you two guys are going to be able to have big games?
Absolutely. I mean, I think we proved that last year quite a bit going into the back end of the season. And then we also got a lot more to prove in terms of we got a lot of other weapons. We got tight ends. You know, Colby and Caden played very well. You know, Connor got hurt there. But, I mean, Osiris is going to be a little – St. Brown's going to be a mixture for us, and then Mr. Reliable always. So at the end of the day, we're going to pride ourselves in taking what the defense gives us. And, you know, week one, the defense gave us outside, and we'll see what SC has in store for us.
Stanford, big picture this for me, JJ. They've won the North. You guys have won the North 5 out of the last 7 years, and yet heading into this season, all the talk in that division is about Washington. You guys feel like you're being overlooked?
You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who the better team is who plays the best together. You know, we could come out any given day and play terribly, and take a loss to a team that's not better than us, and vice versa. So, you know, the biggest thing is going throughout these practices to make sure we build a chemistry throughout the offense and throughout the defense and throughout the team to say, hey, when it comes to game day, we're going to play the best game possible. We're going to outplay the other team. And it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you can have rankings, you can have this, you can have that. Whoever plays the best on that day is going to win and is going to be the top dog. So obviously, you know, they're circled on our schedule, but we got to go 1-0 every week before we get to them.
KJ, we spent some time talking about this Week 2 matchup that you guys have against SC a little bit earlier here in the show. They had success against your squad a year ago. Real deal this for me. Is that at all a factor? You guys talk about that heading into a game like this, that obviously they took care of business against Stanford a year ago?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously Week 2 looked a little different than the Pac-12 championship. You know, I was on the sideline for Week 2 and then played in the Pac-12 championship, so it was a really interesting perspective for me to kind of see from both angles what I thought they were doing really well and where I thought we could expose them. But at the end of the day, I think we have some really good tape, you know, to kind of game plan against these guys, and we know exactly what they're expecting, and it's going to come down to who's going to execute. So I'm excited to see what we have in store.
Can make an argument this might be one of the biggest games in the entire country, knowing what you two guys are able to do on the football field and what the respective teams are going to do. So big, guys, and I don't know if you're aware, but the pregame show, we're going to be on your campus starting at 10 a.m. So certainly looking forward to seeing you guys in person and looking forward to seeing a fantastic game, because it's the Titans in this Pac-12 conference going head-to-head. So best of luck and stay healthy the rest of the season.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.